Hello and welcome to Big Deal. I'm Nisha Poddar. Now, equity market at record levels, and that has really provided a window of opportunity to fundraise while interest rates have gone up. And a more prominent theme of promoter-investor share sales has also played out, especially in the last few weeks. So looking at the numbers, over 1,03,000 odd crore rupees worth of blocks have really hit the market this calendar year. And out of that, half is on account of the promoter-investor share sales. As the market momentum really continues, let's delve further into the deal trends emerging in the market. And let me welcome on the show Balasubramanian, MD, as well as the CEO of Aditya, Birla, Sun Life AMC, and Chirag Negandhi, who's sitting here with me in the studio, who's a joint MD and co-CEO of Axis Capital. Gentlemen, so good to have you on CNBC TV18. Now, Bala, starting with you, of course, markets have touched record highs. How sustainable are the market levels currently in your view?
Yeah, I think, Nisha, clearly, as you rightly put it in the beginning, your opening remark, that a lot of deals have happened and they all got picked up. It all reflects the increased appetite, one, towards India, and second, the positivity which has been going in the market in terms of part in the equity market is something is also reflecting. And third is, I think India in general has been a market which is being looked up to by global investors in comparison with other emerging markets. Therefore, also sees that flows coming in. My own belief is while the equity market has been doing well, the way I see is compared to the last number of years, I don't see any kind of euphoria in the market, which itself means that the overall buoyancy could continue. And second, in general, the banking industry's credit growth has been affecting on a quarter-on-quarter basis. It also means the active levels are showing an improvement. Therefore, earnings-led growth for the country as a whole for companies also should sustain. And last but not the least, despite interest rates being hiked in India, the cost of capital for companies have not gone up in line with the increase in interest rates, which also means that as long as the cost of capital remains somewhat under control, then naturally it's actually more favorable for equity market. All put together, I see that overall momentum in the market, buoyancy should continue. Of course, as we have seen in the past, market goes through some bit of flat period. Therefore, one has to just live with that. But otherwise, I think as it stands today, I think the buoyancy should continue as we move forward.
All right. So biggest takeaway from you, Bala, is that the market buoyancy is likely to really continue. And that is one thing that gives a lot of comfort to deal makers like yourself, Chirag. But it was, whatever said and done, an unexpected equity market window that was really provided. And especially private equity players really capitalized on that by selling in a lot of blocks. A lot of share sale has happened. What was the key reason behind it? In your view, how has this deal trend really shaped up?
Thanks, Nisha. So totally agree. It was totally unexpected.
Yes.
We actually thought India allocations would go up for some of the foreign investors at the start of the year itself.
Yes.
We didn't see that in the Jan to March period, maybe because of global volatility, things that were happening here, etc.
Yes.
But in the first quarter of the financial year, you clearly saw that shift happening.
Yes.
Money started coming in. The quality of deals that we saw was significantly better. Valuations were very attractive. PE investors or promoters clearly saw this as a window.
Yes.
They had a 3-month lull. There is the outlook that an election year, upcoming election year, plus global volatility continuing,
yes,
could provide a shorter window in their mind, and therefore they've used this window to get out of it, to monetize some of this. But I agree completely with Bala. I think it's too early to call the top here. There's a lot of momentum. There is enough in these markets to our mind to believe that we are still at the start of a super cycle.
All right. So start of a super cycle, you are saying. But Bala, if I can ask you about the valuations, you have been an investor first and later part of a listed company, right? So wearing the investor hat, What do you think about the valuations at the current moment? Do you think that, the FII inflows and the exuberance towards India has been one of the prime reasons of this run-up? And the sales that have really taken place, captured especially by the foreign investors more than the domestic investors, that's one of the reasons.
I think clearly the valuation is a function of the earnings growth and expectation that we set in, and various other macro factors also actually support the overall valuations. I think if you look at as it stands today, the expected growth rate for India on GDP level is somewhere close to about 7.5%. As I mentioned, cost of capital remains somewhere under control. And the whole ecosystem, if you go by the tax collection number, has been showing an uptick on a month-on-month basis. Second is, if you look at the forex reserves, the country has been going up. I think first time ever we are seeing the balance of payment coming more or less close to positives. All this actually look at combined with the macro factor on one side, and second, various activities that is being undertaken to drive the next level of growth, and of course the earnings that is coming in along the way. I think if you look at all the three combinations, I think that seems to be still favorable for equity investors. Again, if you look at the valuation on the base of the March quarter numbers that's been reported by most of the companies, even the valuation is for a change is trading at about long-term average PE valuation, which is not actually too out of the radar kind of things. Therefore, there also something which is not coming. As an investor, that comfort, of course, is there. Again, the last but not the least, I think the drive that is being given towards improving the manufacturing sector in India and also digital India, I think there's got a lot of impact on the whole ecosystem for it to get the benefit. That's what I think we are seeing. Even the recent IPO that is coming in, they are priced properly, and therefore the appetite is good. And the existing companies, there is a element of interest is alive. Given the fact that the expected growth momentum from these companies also is reasonable. I think if you go with that principles, I think as an investors, it's something doesn't make us feel worried.
Yes.
At the same time, wherever this excess happens, I think at this point of time, market seems to also being adjusted from the point of view of going through a flat period of growth that we have seen in many sectors. Wherever the sector growth is not there, mediocre growth, market, of course, even investors like us do take some profit on the table, and therefore the risk is also being protected. I think that's the way I see it at this point of time. Definitely, I think one of the areas where I see bigger benefit coming for India is the among the emerging markets allocation that comes in when it increases. Though I think there has been an expected increase in China as a country in terms of flows, but I think the large comfort is coming for India because the macro factors are more favorable for India as an economy compared to India as an economy in the world, including the current oil prices being quite stable and food prices remaining stable. So naturally, of course, benefits India on multiple ways. I think the worry that we used to have a twin deficit today is no more a twin deficit an issue. I think every deficit now being addressed, and we are already seeing the result of that in terms of positive numbers throwing up from each of these segments.
Right. So many takeaways, Bala, especially the segregation of, the valuation dynamics between the pockets which are performing well and which are not. And the second that he mentioned about the IPO, they have been more attractively valued. Now, Chirag, you've worked on so many IPOs. Last time we had a very good season of IPOs last year, but then this year was anemic till last month. So what was the texture of the IPOs? We saw some very interesting names come up, and that's why the run-up in the stock price on the debut had also been good, like the types of Idea Forge. Yeah. So how were the IPO appetite in the minds of the investors from your point of view?
So again, like Bala said, Nisha, you had a lull phase, yes. And what you had after that is companies, great companies, good business models, good governance standards, backed by some of the PE investors or marquee promoters coming to market, wanting to do so at reasonable valuations, which is where the upside for the investors came in. And this is very typical of a IPO market or any market that actually starts off after a lull. The first few have to be priced by default at attractive levels that investors will make money. So, you spoke about Idea Forge. We just did Cyient, which listed 2 days back.
Yes.
Great returns on listing itself. Mankind, which was a large 4,000 odd crore deal, is up 80% almost in the last couple of months. Nexus REIT, a mall REIT, has done really well. It's a REIT. It should be a yield investment, but it's done really well in terms of the capital value appreciation as well. So, 5 IPOs that have happened from April, all of them that have done well. And that, to my mind, is only now starting off a cycle of many more that will come to market.
Yes.
But again, I don't expect it to be like a 2021 where everything was every deal was happening.
Yes, yes.
Investors have clearly been more selective, both in terms of quality of the management and the business,
Yes.
as well as on valuations. And I think that will continue.
That's right. It's a very important point because not every paper has buyers in the market right now, despite the valuations being high and also market appetite being there, especially from the foreign investors. All right, Chirag, Bala, hold your thoughts. We have lots more to discuss on this topic right after a very short break on Big Deal. Stay tuned.
बिजनेस लोन्स बोले तो सिर्फ लैंडिंग कार्ड